Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Lockdowns in China. Shanghai's lockdown has actually resulted in the crude price taking a hit in the international market. And how bad it is, how many cities are affected, what does it do to China's GDP? Let us welcome our guest, Elmer Yuen, and hear from him what he has found out. Elmer, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Hello, how are you? I was born in Shanghai. I'm real Shanghainese, and I left Shanghai for Hong Kong when I was 7, and later on I lived altogether more than 10 years in Shanghai, uh, not too long ago, and I used a huge apartment. But the point is, yeah, I'm really considered as a Shanghainese, and who there are very few people left who can speak English and also understand Shanghai to express. But anyway, Shanghai had officially 26 million people, but unofficially over 30 million people. All right, it's a huge, huge city, and you don't it's you have not you if you have visited Shanghai recently. Inside, remember they had the expo. They run the expo. I don't even know about what over 10 years ago, and they used the expo land and built a Manhattan that is the most modern in the world. It's much bigger than Manhattan, of course, but it's brand new. The Fortune 500 and all the bankers in the world, the Fortune 500 for Chinese, all there. Huge buildings. And believe it or not, all the traffic is underground. For cars, for passengers, for subway, and everything is underground. So you have beautiful above ground scenery and what do you call growing everything. It's a beautiful city if you go there. So, but anyway, this is the most modern city in the world. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I work with them, all the infrastructure. So, can you believe just one order is shut down? Shut down. I'm not talking about shutdown of the city. We are talking about shutdown of each home. Each home, if you have a condo or apartment, you are not allowed to leave your apartment. This is the kind we're talking about. All the people, all the people of all different rank, and there is no special privilege. Shut down, and you have daily testing, COVID tests, and so on. And if you have these Shanghai huge sky rises, one guy inside, then the whole building shut down for 7 days. Another checking, another guy, another 7 days. Just keep going, and the whole city. I have friends. I have Japanese friends. You know, we're talking about big companies like a Mitsubishi, all right? Head of Mitsubishi in Shanghai. Now, up to now, it's already 2 weeks. And he has no more food left. Only maybe a couple of instant noodles. The whole city lives on instant noodles. And you cannot believe. And U.S. Consul in Shanghai, which is, of course, huge, they are forced to shut down, and they transport everybody to the airport, all right, because they have diplomatic on their license plate, airport, and fly everybody out. So the whole consulate is shut down. This is how serious it is. The reason I ask has really not much to do with COVID. Not many people died of the virus, but at least my estimate, over 100,000 people died from bureaucracy, not being able to go to hospital for their regular disease, and for emergencies, and even for things like pregnancy, giving birth, and they don't accept it because the hospital are so scared of getting infected. So before you go, they have to do all kinds of tests. They have to wait for the tests. And a lot of very, very famous people's parents in their 80s and 90s, even hundreds, died. Shanghai is probably the longest, is the most aging city, longest life, longevity in the whole China. Hong Kong probably number 1, Shanghai number 2 for long life. And elderly people, if you have catch a little bit of the COVID, then you have a shortage of oxygen. They're very, very dangerous, and most of them perish. So I would say that in the last 3 months, over 100,000 people died of such lack of care and so on. Nothing to do with the virus. So it's really very serious. And Shanghai is not the only city. Canton, which is close to Hong Kong, huge industrial cities, and there are altogether 23 cities being shut down, and all the freeway they don't want to see the disease travel from city to city. So you are talking about a GDP drop for about 20% this year, or could be more. And ships, all the truck driver, because they have to do tests, they have to be negative. So all the truck driver are not moving. So all the goods the ships are waiting in the Shanghai port. Shanghai is the biggest container port in the world. There are hundreds of ships waiting to load and unload. And truck drivers refuse to work because once they enter, they cannot get out. They have to do tests and then quarantine and this and that. It is a huge economic situation, global. Not only just the Taiwanese have over 10,000 factories near Shanghai. All the PCBs, all the electronics, you name it. The hardware is not made in Taiwan. People thought it's made in Taiwan. No, it's made in China. It's made in China, in the Shanghai area. I would say that I'm calling this a Omicron revolution. Finally, it's hitting home. And all the Shanghai people, secretly, they know who caused it, because Xi Jinping delayed for almost 3-4 months in announcing to the world of such infectious disease. And now it's finally coming home to roost. And absolutely, they deserve it. They were using zero tolerance. I think I talked on your program before.
Yes.
And they keep on testing you several times a day. You talk about whole city. And then they try to quarantine you. They build these outlying quarantine centers, not even hospitals. They try to separate people, like leprosy. I'm sure India, you have leprosy too.
Oh yes, we do.
So they are treating a normal what do you call a normal cold or flu like a leprosy. You understand? And with that kind of population and with that kind of bureaucracy who are not answering to the people, it's causing a tremendous damage to the country. And people are so angry. And originally, I think Xi Jinping may not be able to go to the next term. But then what they have done is to take away all your freedom. If you're not allowed to get out of your house, and your door, you leave your apartment, you lose all freedom. And this is like a teaching you how to behave, teaching everybody how to behave. You remember that Xi Jinping ordered and took all the data from Alibaba and from Tencent, all the data, meaning all their payment data. All right, Alibaba has the Alipay, and WeChat have the WeChat Pay. These are the two biggest payment. And all the data, Xi Jinping said, no, this belongs to the state. So right now, China is using health. Everybody must have a phone, and the phone has your identity. So once your building has one guy infected, then your phone turns red. They won't allow you out. So they are integrating all these data, total control of each person with a phone 24 hours a day. You cannot leave home. If they would decide what you eat, they would decide what you do, whether you're going to work or not. It's a total control. It's much worse than prison, because you seem to have freedom, but you have zero. And you are talking about Shanghai. Shanghai is the most efficient city in the world. Suddenly, they realize that they are being controlled 100%. So nobody is going to tell Xi Jinping not to run the next term, because every single person, whether you are very high rank, even member of a Politburo, you can move as a COVID infected, and you disappear. They don't need to answer to anything. And the first thing you go, there's no funeral. You go right into the burning. All right, into that burning thing. So this is a total control. If you I mean, historically, you read books about totalitarian, but you have seen nothing like it. It's all coming out. We, of course, have first-hand information. I have lots of relatives in Shanghai, over 10,000. So I get report directly from the they tell me some people already 1 month lockdown and live on instant noodles. They live on instant. Can you imagine? I mean, 2 meals of instant noodle. No one touch that thing anymore. But these guys, they because what happened is instant noodle can be manufactured in factories and shipped easily, and you can just with hot water you can be fed. But this is how they are living. It's truly unbelievable. And I think what's going to happen is Xi Jinping will have total control of every Chinese citizen, every and 24 hours a day, all right? And your location, everything, because all your bank is connected to your phone, your payment, your communication, your location, you name it. Everything you do is connected. No, people don't accept cash and they don't accept credit card anymore. So as long as you have the phone and you're talking, your email, your messenger, everything, they know more about you than you know about yourself. So this is really important because people don't understand. This is this is his aim. He said this is the most efficient system. It's no different from what Hitler is trying to do. But unfortunately, Hitler do not have these modern tools, while China have the IT and the AI to really give them the control of each person. So you're talking about a what do you call it? What was that the Animal Farm and that kind of stories.
George
Total
Orwell, yeah.
ovarian state. And it's happening. It's not testing, and it's the entire country. 1.4 billion people are being controlled, and no right to vote, and nothing. They have, and whatever Xi Jinping, if he goes to war with Taiwan, these people will automatically support him. You don't even he does not need will. He control your will. So and this is I mean we what we read in scientific fiction is happening right now. Unfortunately, most international press are only making very light reporting because they don't speak Chinese, and we have relatives actually being in the lockdown at home for over a month already. Sorry, I changed your program a little bit because
No,
I
no, not
most
at
important
all.
of
Yeah.
you, and they want to do this eventually on one belt, one road, meaning they want to use this system worldwide. It's not a joke.
Elmer, this is more of a philosophical question than anything else. When will Xi Jinping admit that his vaccine is not working at all and request a country like India, perhaps India can supply? It'll still take 4 to 6 weeks for India to ramp it up, but they'll have to swallow their pride,
Yeah,
withdraw their forces,
Siri,
apologize to India. Will we
Siri,
do that?
you and I are normal people. We have
Yes.
pride. Communists have no pride. Honest to God, no pride, no shame. All they care is one thing: how much power they have. The more, the better. They don't understand such moral issues like pride or integrity or morality. It's not in their dictionary. Unfortunately, you didn't grow up this, but I grew up with many friends in such condition. These people have no value. Their only value is power, and power will give them everything. With power, they can have so-called the traveling freedom, and then when they can have money, they can everything, corruption, and you name it. That he will never admit he's wrong. He still claim he is absolutely right in doing this. All right, he's because nobody is going to challenge him inside China, and also this is what the news in China is: the war. Russia is winning and Ukraine is losing, and then they congratulate. This is the news in China, which is very different from what they face. So they have two versions. The English version, they are kind of very mild, but the Chinese version is totally 100% with Putin.
Well, I think the Chinese people deserve better, and we have called it already, Elmer, that this is the end is near. So let's see how it plays out. and it's really bad. On a slightly different note, Elmer.
I do not
Um,
your statement. The Chinese people have allowed this kind of totalitarian to go on. They deserve what's happening right now. Whoever allows such thing to go on till now, no objection. And when I call them, they are laughing at Hong Kong. Oh, you guys don't know how to control the COVID, and they deserve this result. Trust me. And only with pain they will change.
Well, there was something called as crowd immunity, and that has worked out very well in India. There are still COVID cases, but it is much under control. It's not running away. They're able to effectively deal with it, and things are improving. But any rate, thank you so much, Elmer, and we wait and see how this is going to develop. So it looks like Xi Jinping is done. I mean, this is going to be the end of his regime, unless the
opposite, just the opposite, because nobody dares to challenge him. They know he has total control of their life 24 hours a day. So nobody dares to challenge him. All his oppositions are gone. You are reading the opposite. I'm sorry. It's not your fault because we live in a normal world. He lives in a different world.
Well, I sure hope that I am right this time. That's good for the world. But let's see how it plays out. Thank you very much, Elmer. And viewers, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. By the way, Elmer, you are much missed. People were asking, where is Elmer? Tuesdays have come and gone. We have not seen Elmer. So
I'm sorry. Next time, I'll be more work harder.
Yes. Thank you so much. And again, we'll be back soon with more news from Elmer. Namaskar.
Great. Thank you. Bye-bye.